Hey, stupid Panther fans, remember me? We want Swayman. Yeah, you're fixing to get Swayman. And look at now. No Barkov, no chicken chuck for you. You got no, hey, what? Oh, hey, John, how you doing, buddy?
What the hell are you doing in here? This is the recap room, not the skit room.
The kid that runs the live streams let me in.
The kid that runs the
What's the big deal?
streams. Kyle!
The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1, drop.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
Hi, Panther fans. It's 1 o'clock on a Monday. Bruh. Whose idea was this? So, we obviously know there's no Barkov. Kachuk is still sick. The estimated return date is the 22nd? How come? Now, I don't follow every other team as closely as I do the Panthers, so maybe it's not just us. But it sure does seem like every year a couple of our guys get sick and stay sick for weeks. What the hell is going on down there? I don't think I want to know the answer to that question. So, there's no Barkov, there's no Kachuk. I haven't looked at the starting lineups, but I'm going to assume Boston is putting Swayman out there. If they put Korpisalo back out there after we yell we want Swayman, I mean that those jokes just write themselves. So the question of the day is, how do we avoid getting plastered? Oh, my eye is twitching again. How do we avoid getting plastered today? And should we get plastered, how do we convince ourselves that it's just because Barkov and Kachuk are out? Bobrovsky is back, so that, well, he'll have an opportunity to play better than he has. The last game against Ottawa, period 2 and period 3 wasn't bad, but Ottawa never had the puck. But in the first period, Bob was not great. Not terrible, just off his angle a little bit. So, we won the cup. We won the cup. And though it'll probably get better the second half of the season, and I still anticipate this team being fine in the playoffs and further, it does seem as though we're going to pay for our sins here the first few weeks of the season. Because it is just, I don't care who you are. If you lose Barkov and Kachuk, I mean, so we're going to cross our fingers and dot the I's and cross the T's and put on fresh underwear. And I even put on the dreaded red jersey. I even put this sucker on because while I won't, knock on wood, say that it can't get any worse, we could use a little bit of energy change, right? Last 2 games have not been great. Okay? So, we'll play the game, and the good news is no matter what happens, there might still be an hour of daylight left when this is over. All right, so 2-1 Panthers after 1. Now, for the Bruins fans that are watching this, let's just get this out of the way now. Yes, Greer he hit Marchand. No, he hit Pasta. Excuse me. Let's start this over. Greer hits Pasta from behind. Yes, it should have been a penalty. Okay? And then matters became what they were. And then, and then later on, I mean, you go after Verhaeghe. Yeah, that was kind of a weak call. But then Pasta just blindsides Reinhart, who's off on a Saturday afternoon stroll out there. Reinhardt's got to pay attention to that. But come on now, we don't need to blindside guys. But yes, the Greer, it should have been a penalty. I don't know what you want me to do about it. When the Patriots were winning, they got the calls. The Chiefs are winning, they get the calls. The Panthers are winning and we get the calls. But you know what you Bruins fans didn't see? You know what you haven't seen? The previous 30 years where we didn't get shit in terms of calls because we sucked. All right? So I'm not going to stand here and apologize for us finally, since 1993 being in the league, that we finally get some calls. Not going to do it. Are we getting some calls? Sure. Until a team comes around and proves that they can beat us despite us getting those calls, we will continue to get those calls, and I will not apologize. That said, that we want Swayman Chant don't look so bad so far. It's early. This game is a long way from over, all right? Boston is not going to be happy that they're losing to a team with the defenseman on the third line and a couple of rookies and missing half. I mean, we should not be winning this game, but we are, and we kind of are because Boston, again, you know this is what we're going to do. Bruins, I don't understand this. At some point, some personal responsibility has got to click in. We've been doing this to you guys. This is the third straight year where we go nanny nanny boo boo and you guys go hey, and it works every time. And then you go, you're dirty. Stop falling for it then. If you don't want us to take cheap shots, stop falling for it. And I guarantee you we'll stop. Let's move on to the second period. All right, so it's 4-3 Panthers after 2. It's not exactly a Vezina caliber goaltending display by either side. I can't speak for Swayman's faults because I don't watch all of his games, but that's the fourth short-sided goal that Bob has given up, and this is only his third game. Now, like I've said, I don't expect us to have a problem going forward, but when Bob is off, he is off his angles, and he either gets beat short side or over that shoulder, and they are shooting short side on him, and he let another one in. Not to take anything away from Boston, but this is somehow we're winning this game without Barkov and Kachuk, and why didn't we give this level of effort the other night? I don't know. I don't know if we just match up well against Boston, if it's our speed, but we look good out there considering the guys that we don't have. Lundell with the snipe, Reinhart with a shorthanded goal. We now got 2 power play goals, which, by the way, just as an aside, as soon as Barkov and Kachuk were gone, we started scoring power play goals. Now, you know why that is? It's because it forced us to do something different. I love Barkov as much as the next guy does, but he's very, very predictable and not the fastest puck mover on the power play. All of a sudden, they're gone, and we start scoring power play goals. It's just something to think about, Paul. All right, that said, it's 4-3. If this game doesn't go to overtime, I will jump nude off of my roof. Let's go. Not see that coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 points. Oh, I'm sore. I went to the gym this morning. I'm lifting weights all afternoon here because we gave up 3 goals. And we win the game. And I no, I'm not jumping naked off the roof, by the way. There's no way you would have convinced me back when Boston made the score 4-3 that we were going to do the thing that we do, which is get a 1-goal lead and just sit our asses on it and win the game. I mean, I know we're capable of that. Obviously, that's how we won the cup last year. But with no Barkov, no Kachuk, Ekblad and Schmidt got caught out there in one shift for like 3 minutes long. But I bitched about Bob on Twitter, and he was pretty good after that. So that's a good sign. Bob definitely looked much better the second half of that game than he did in the first. So maybe he's finally starting to get into his groove. Here's what I'll say. I'm glad we won the game because of the circumstances being that you don't want to get off to a 1-3 start. We play again tomorrow against Columbus. If we can win that game, we're above 500, and that's in good shape without Barkov and Kachuk. At some point, Boston is going to get so pissed off and so sick of losing to us that the results are going to change a little bit, right? You kind of got to figure at some point that's going to happen. They got very frustrated towards the end and started taking, the little slashes and the pokes. By the way, Jeremy Swayman, as the sun just went behind the clouds, so I'm probably in the dark here now. But Jeremy Swayman, now when he was negotiating for his contract and talking about being educated, the kid kind of rubs me the wrong way. I think he thinks his shit don't stink, and he's so ornery on the ice. I mean, the last time Reinhart just skates up chasing after the puck. Swayman stops it. Reinhart didn't give him a snow job. He didn't stick the stick in there to try to jab loose at the puck. And Swayman just takes his paddle and slashes Reinhart in the shin. And Reinhart just kind of looking at him like, what the hell is wrong with you? My suggestion to Jeremy Swayman is win something first, then shit talk. Okay? You haven't won anything yet. So that's just my 2 cents. Not my circus, not my monkey. He's not my goaltender, so I'm not worried about that. But he's kind of a punk. I'm just going to say it. And I know Boston fans think Kachuk is a punk and Bennett is a punk. And that's all fine. That's all fine. But Swayman, in terms of as goalies go, he's probably about as punkish as you can get. So, what do we see on the ice for the Panthers? Ekblad and Schmidt should never be on the ice together ever again on purpose. I understand Forsling with the power play, and I understand guys get stuck, and that's fine, okay? But, no, let's not do that. Now, Nate Schmidt, I've been a little bit hard on. I'm not saying he's bad. I think we got a little bit spoiled last year when OEL and Kulikov came in, and they just fit right in smoothly, right? Boquist has been okay. Schmidt has been okay when he's in his own end. There's a little bit of a learning curve, getting used to it, so I'm not going to totally, worry about those guys yet. But it also wouldn't surprise me if we picked up somebody at the trade deadline. But that's a long way off. Anton Lundell impressed me tonight. He really played a really good game. And we need him to do that with Barkov out. He's got to be what we need him to be. And he was tonight. He almost got the hat trick. He came in on Swayman again, shot a little bit low. Swayman made the save. The line of Boquist with Samoskevich and who else was it? Greer. I liked. That was good. That was fun. Which, by the way, Mackey, will somebody show this kid my videos? I know there's at least one player that watches one of my videos every year. If this is the one, will you please tell Mackey Samoskevich to stop trying to carry the puck along the boards to the outside against NHL defensemen? It's not going to happen. He's smushed and smushed and smushed. And eventually, he's going to get smushed and his collarbone's going to go, and that's going to be it for him for a year. Dump the puck in, kid. Please. You're not Connor Bedard. Not close. All right? That's my only complaint with him. Otherwise, his effort is off the charts. He plays a solid defensive game. He doesn't cost us anything. He's not making rookie mistakes, except for the fact that he thinks he's Connor Bedard and he's just going to go around everybody. Stop. That's it. Defensively, Gustav Forsling continues to be an absolute black hole in terms of if a guy approaches him. Kulikov looks good. Mikula looks good. Boquist and Schmidt. I'll give them time. I'm not saying they look bad, but we'll just give them time. Let's give them 20 games. Ask me again in 20 games. Giles is showing, he's not terrible out there, but I don't think he needs to be the first guy off the bench in terms of later on in the season. He's not looked bad, but You can kind of tell the difference between Sam Miskevich, who was clearly ready, and a guy like Giles, who had a good camp, but might not be completely cooked in the oven just yet. And then, of course, you got Belinskas out there as forward. So the fact that we beat the Bruins with this lineup, I can't complain about it at all. And for the Bruins fans, they're going to say the Panthers are dirty and all of this, and we get the calls and all of that. We won the cup. That's all I'm going to say. If you all won the cup being dirty and getting the calls, you wouldn't give two rats' ass about us saying you guys are dirty and get all the calls. So beat us. That's the only thing I can say to you is beat us. We're going to be dirty. We're going to get the calls. And when the team comes in and can not fall for the antics that we're going to provide and beat us despite us getting some favorable calls. We got away with a couple of trippings. We got away with a pick. I'm just being honest here. We set a pick halfway through the third period. We didn't get anything out of it, and the puck went out of the zone, but it was a pick. I mean, it wasn't even close. Bennett didn't even make it. He didn't even try to disguise it. He's like, looked at the ref. He's like, I'm going to run a pick. We cool. And they didn't call it. Boquist tripped a guy, they didn't call it, and then he almost tripped another guy, and they didn't call that. So I can understand Bruins fans if that is stuck in your craw, but that is the way it is for all teams that are the champs and that become that team. Right now, the Panthers are that team, and I'm not going to apologize for it. Like I said, 30 years of crap. Okay? You guys were not watching the Panthers every night in 2010 and 11 and 12 and 13 and 14 and 15. When every game and every call that could go against us did. So I don't feel bad because we got about 30 years, 3 decades worth of makeup calls coming. So if we have a couple of 2-3 years where we get away with some shit, tough cookies. That's what I got to say about it. Now, all that said, we better not lose to Columbus tomorrow. Spencer's got his hands full tomorrow. All we have to do is go into Columbus tomorrow with their home opener and the whole Gaudreau situation. And, yeah, good luck to us. Good luck to us. We expended a lot of energy here tonight. It wouldn't surprise me to see us. Don't be surprised tomorrow night if we don't look so good. So, all right. We beat Boston again. So we have 4 games. We beat Boston, we lost to Ottawa and Buffalo, and then we beat Boston again. So that's got to really piss off the Bruins fans, too. I'm sorry. It's not personal. It's not personal. You guys had your cup a few years ago, right? Quit complaining. But you're not wrong. But, hey, I don't make the calls. I just make the videos laughing about the calls. Not my fault. If I had any say, if I had any power in terms of what this team actually did, Owen Tippett would still be here. But Tkachuk did, so that's a whole different story. I'm going to shut up now. Hey, it's 1 o'clock game. I had to have some caffeine to stay up, all right? It's nappy time. I'm old. I should have been sleeping the last couple hours. All right, Panthers, 2 points.